The title of this video is What Makes a Life Worthwhile? Today is actually my favorite day of the year. It is New Year's Day, 2025. Feeling very good today. I took my spiritual bath. I put on an outfit that I feel represents where I'm going in the next coming year. I'm wearing cream white for purity, clarity, um, connection to the divine. I'm feeling good today, and I haven't spoken to a relative of mine, haven't heard her voice in a couple of months. She is my mother's younger sister. She is my aunt. And she is my benefactor. She is the one reason why I am here today to be able to create videos for you. She helped restore my eyesight this year. I think it was probably in March, April, where my cataracts were so bad that I was incapacitated. I couldn't drive anymore. I had difficulty in my activities of daily living. Yeah, it was quite drastic. And I am not in a financial position to incur and pay for such it is expensive, the operation for both eyes. But my benefactor, my aunt, who was a teacher for over 30 years, never got married, never had kids. Like, she's 80 years old. She just moved and bought a new house. She's always been very independent. But I was led to call her this morning and to wish her a happy new year, but to extend to her my gratitude and my appreciation, not only for her helping me restore my eyesight, but to be a guiding presence in some of the way that she's conducted her life, which ends up being quite admirable. So I would classify her as frugal, conscientious of how she invests her money. She has great habits. She eats well, is balanced, I believe, in her consumption of not only food, but probably material things as well. Her daily habits of walking, and I think is admirable and has served her well in her 80 years. With her sister, my mother, dealing with dementia. My mom is 84, and it's been very trying to become the parent to your parent. And I wasn't calling to complain, maybe just to let her know that it is challenging dealing with her sister, my mother. Maybe to get some compassion, but I should have known that that probably wouldn't transpire, and sure enough, it didn't. After expressing my gratitude and my admiration, she basically, my aunt, cut me short, said she couldn't handle what I was saying. She doesn't like the way I speak. I tend to go on and on in depth and speak from the heart. And I don't feel she's very receptive to emotional connection. I think she has a hard time connecting emotionally. And my sentiment, my confessions were rejected. And I realized that after I hung up the phone, but so I experienced severe rejection today. Severe in that this is one of the few family members that I've been connected with that had a role in my childhood. There was a time where I think I felt loved and supported unconditionally from her. And it wasn't until I met my now husband and introduced him to her to him, that the rejection and the judgment began. I don't know if you know this, but I am a white woman and my husband is mixed race. He is black and German. And she rejected him. She rejected our relationship. So this is from over, my husband and I have been together for, it'll be 34 years. February 6th was our first date, 1990. So 34 years, I guess. 35 years. Oh my God. I can't even count that high. But yeah, we've been together quite a bit, quite a long time. 35 years, February 6th will be the date of our first date. Yeah. And so I think there's been animosity, judgment from, and it stems back from when I introduced my, at the time, boyfriend. My tastes have always been unique. When I met my husband, I saw the beauty in his heart. And that's basically, I fell in love, and that's what it was. And I shouldn't have to explain that because love is love. But for my aunt, who was born in 1945, I feel like this is where, how do I explain this? This is where I'm like the black sheep of my family, to be honest, because even growing up, I had unique choices, taste in men, boyfriends, whatever, crushes. My first kiss was with this beautiful person named John, who was Portuguese, and he had darker skin and whatever than me, but my sibling teased me about it and would use unflattering terms. And I don't know, I feel like I grew up perhaps in a slightly racist family, although I don't feel I was racist because I was ridiculed for my choices. And if someone did not fit the norm, quote unquote, then they were not worthy, I want to say, in the eyes of my family. So anyway, getting back to the story. It's been difficult relationship with my aunt ever since then. And today in our conversation, she was trying to cut me off as I was explaining how much I appreciate her. And she said something like, well, I wish you a year, a better year, a prosperous year. And I go, and prosperous life or something. And I go, my life is great. I go, I have my vision back. I'm sitting here in gratitude, thinking about all the things I'm grateful for. And she said, well, just do something worthy do something important, do something of value. Take your vision that I gave you, which is how I interpret her, and do something worthy. Do something important. Do something of value. And I'm thinking, now, how are you defining something worthy and valuable? Are you saying that the way that I've operated my life thus far has not been of value? And who is to judge? I go, well, God will decide whether or not how I'm operating is worthy. I go, and we're all worthy. So it's like, what are you talking? Are you the judge of if something I do is meaningful or not? Like, is me having my eyesight back not enough? Now I have to do something to contribute in a worthwhile manner, however you define worthiness. I guess I'm not worthy just being a human, just being alive in the eyes of my aunt. Yeah. So figuring out, I want to say the culprit of what triggers me when it comes to self-worth, measuring up. Am I worthy if I choose to do whatever I choose, to follow my heart instead of follow what society deems important, worthy, worthwhile? And this is coming from a woman who goes to church every week. She was explaining how she was putting her Christmas decorations away and she needed to get Christmas in her house. But I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy with that because you're sitting in judgment of someone and realizing that her ability to be a benefactor to someone, her family member, doesn't come from love. It comes from expectation. It comes from her being the judge and jury of whether or not how I conduct my life is worthy, worthwhile, of value. And wow, I hung up the phone and I called my mom, and the most important thing that my mom said to me today was, I love you. And my mother puts up with all my quirks, my idiosyncrasies, the ability for me to go on and on about something. She loves me unconditionally. And at that moment, I realized that my aunt does not love me. She sits in judgment of me. And maybe it's partly because she has a hard time loving. I don't know, but I feel sad for her. I feel sad that I let her eat away at my self-esteem and make me feel like who I am at the core is not good enough in her eyes. I'm more frustrated that I can't be myself and be loved. That I have to act a certain way or be someone or have a certain job in order to be of value in her eyes. And in order to fully be myself, I need to let go. I need to allow her to just be herself and not try to impact or make a transformation or change her mind about me. She's going to be who she is, and I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to be myself fully with my eyesight, and I'm going to follow my heart and how I conduct my life. And my life is already worthy, and I am worthwhile. And so are you.